The Bear Season 3 Episode 6 opens with Tina waking up at 6 in the morning, getting ready, and cooking in the first 30 minutes. She talks about the rising rent on the flat with her husband, David. But he reassures her that he expects a raise shortly, so she shouldn't worry. A calendar indicates that she works at a confectionery, and this was in 2018. But instead of cooking, she's slaving away at a desk. Sadly, she is then summoned to a meeting where she is informed that her employment has been terminated. At night, she informs David about it and says she will look for another one. Despite her setback, Tina is upbeat and starts looking for new work, putting her resume in several places but without success. After 2 weeks, Tina is frustrated that she isn't making any progress and can't identify any leads. Because she lacks a college degree, they refuse to hire her, even when she finds a profile that matches the work she completed at her previous position. When she eventually receives a call for an interview, her mood turns around. But when she arrives, she finds out that someone else has already been assigned to the position. Tina exits in a rage as the receptionist hardly even glances at her. She discovers that her bus is delayed when she makes her way back to the bus stop. There's nothing across the way save the original beef, and she wants somewhere to hang out for a while. She enters the restaurant and observes the mayhem as Richie, Christopher, and other people are frantically trying to keep everything together. After receiving a complimentary Italian beef sandwich and coffee, she goes inside to a room where Neil is using an arcade machine. When Michael sees Tina crying uncontrollably, Richie warns him to persuade her to stop or else she'll frighten the regulars. Tina is eventually approached by Michael, and they begin conversing about their own days. Michael talks about how his day has been difficult due to delivery fees, a possessed restroom, and a staffing shortage. Tina also shares details of her personal day. The scenario from episode 1 is then shown to Tina, in which Michael shows her the photo of a meal that Carmi sent him. He gushes about his younger brother, saying that he not only knows exactly what he wants, but also excels at it. Even though Michael dislikes several aspects of his work, he appreciates that food is typically served at festivities and happy occasions. Michael remembers going on a class trip as a child and entering a building to find a number of offices. The sheer number of people who had dreams and realized them in that edifice astounded him. However, he sensed that wouldn't be him. Alternatively, Tina describes how she's been observing all these young people working at the position she desires, and how they seem so hungry and rent-free. She claims to be envious of them. Inspired by her declaration that she would accept any job, Michael approaches her and informs her that he needs a new line cook. He does, however, warn her about the shouting and mayhem. After Richie calls him away, Tina says she'll give it some thought. At the conclusion of the Bear Season 3 Episode 6, Tina pulls out a t-shirt from the original beef and smiles at it from her home. The review of the episode. Season 3 Episode 6 moves more slowly than the previous one did, and I'm starting to miss some of that Crazy the Bear energy. Apart from that, of course, this is a really well-written episode that teaches us a lot more about Tina and her identity. We learn so much about her character from seeing her home and family, her commute to work, and her need for structure. It's incredible to see how persistent she is. The narrative is charming in and of itself. If Tina hadn't been summoned for that final non-interview, she never would have wound herself at the Bear. The standout moment of the program is unquestionably the talk she had with Michael. The two performers do a great job carrying the scenario as they reflect on their own embarrassing moments and what it's like to be jealous of younger, more energetic children. We also get to know Michael better, including his thoughts on his brother and his employment at the restaurant. Even though this episode moves slowly, the script is still flawless.